when it's dark inside. So, sound alone can give you the chills. When the sound is walking towards you, it gets even worse. You can create the effect of an invisible person with a stereo and 2 speakers and a specially recorded tape. You need to use a boombox with detachable speakers, and you'll need to attach extension wires to these or larger speakers, which is what I'm doing. Take a small angle iron or angled shelf bracket and screw it to the top of 2 speakers. Hang it on the wall on one end of a hallway or room. Place the other speaker on the opposite end of the hall or room. The sound tape or CD must be specifically recorded in stereo, with a footstep or monster sound recorded so that the sound starts at the left speaker and pans to the right speaker, thereby creating the 3D sound effect. If you have a sound studio, you can do this yourself. But the easiest way to achieve this effect is with this tape right here. It's been specially made for this effect, with the sound in stereo. To do the effect, cue the tape up and wait for your guests to walk through. Once they enter the hall, press the play, and they will feel as though an invisible ghost is walking towards them. Why is the black cat a bad luck symbol of Halloween anyway? Well, you're about to find out. This next stunt will throw cats down from the rafters. Of course, you're not going to use real cats. Instead, use either stuffed animals or make some fluffy balls out of fake fur. Take a paper bag and compact it into a ball. Not real tight, just into a loose ball. Next, wrap the ball with fake fur and tape it together using a little bit of duct tape. Make 4 or more of these. The next step, of course, is the sound. Wild, rabid, crazy cats are a very hard sound to record on your own. In fact, it's downright dangerous if you even try. I very strongly suggest you purchase a professional recording like this one here, which has intermittent growling and hissing cats. The sound comes from a boombox or stereo with speakers placed near or in the ceiling. To do the basic effect, climb a ladder behind your set or hide in the rafters above a garage ceiling. When your guests walk underneath, drop the fur balls down on them. It's real fun. Making use of TV VCR effects is like icing on the cake for a scene like this. This video has also been specially prepared to enhance the attacking cat scare. It's got cats walking in the rafters above you, complete with the sound of wild cats. The TV is placed above the ceiling, screen facing down, and resting solidly on several cross 2x4s to make certain it will stay up where you put it. My best advice is to use a real carpenter for mounting the TV, or make certain it's not above an area your guests would be walking, but it's still visible for the effect. Now you simply keep this tape playing continuously, and your scene is always ready, with crazy cats walking in the rafters. When you add that to dropping the fake cats or stuffed animals on people, you're gonna scare the living hell out of them. This propping effect is very similar to the wild cats, except this time you're using wild dogs attacking and trying to get through what looks like a curtain. Okay, start by making a square frame out of 2x4s, using an overlapping joint. You can make this any size you wish. Ours is about 4 feet square. Attach all 4 boards into this frame. The curtain is attached over the frame, something like this. Now, lay the cloth down on the frame, pulling it to the edges, but still a little loose. Lay down the last strips over the cloth along the edge of each 2x4 of the frame. Put in the screws about every 3 inches to hold the cloth securely to the frame. Okay, when you're done, attach angle iron brackets, similar to the speakers used in the Invisible Ghost footsteps effect, and hang it on a 2x4 frame wall support. And your set is now ready. Next, we're gonna make fake dogs' feet to push up against the curtain from the back side of the set. Okay, the parts of these are a 2x2 board, a piece of mattress foam or a sponge, a screw, a large fender washer, or a combination of large and small washers to hold the foam onto the board. Now lay the foam down on the work table and place the washer down on the foam. Take the screw and push it through the washer and the foam until it comes out the bottom side. Then, drill a small starter hole in the 2x2 and screw the foam to the end of the 2x2. Make 4 of these so that you can create the illusion that 2 dogs are attacking. With a little bit of backlighting, it looks like a real curtain. If you want to make it more like a window, you can dress it up a little with molding and a wall on either side. To create the illusion of attacking dogs, take the sticks and paw at the curtain from the back side. You can also have actors dress up in masks and costumes and paw at the curtain too. Something's missing. Sound effects. The best way to make your guests believe dogs and cats are attacking is to use sound effect tapes playing in the boombox. Tapes like this one here, which I have made especially for you to use. It contains the sound of dogs approaching quickly from a distance. Ow! If you want to make your own sound effects, you'll need to record a bunch of barking dogs. Problem is, you'll need to have about 8 dogs or a recording studio where you can layer the same sounds over and over. If you can't do this, try getting a bunch of people together to imitate the sounds you want. Doing a tornado hitting the house is a fantastic theme park style effect. And you can do this one at your haunted house too. This epic effect will really get their attention.
Okay, set the blower up against an opening in a set, or outside a window. An operator stands beside the blower or fan, which is hidden from view behind the set, dropping paper in front of the fan. The air can be directed up or down by placing a board or case in front of the blower and tilting it up at an angle. Now, this particular blower is from a ventilation system and is powered by a side-mounted 1 horsepower motor. A fan is placed on the floor behind the window so that it blows the curtains around like you would expect a tornado to do. To add to the illusion, place some small styrofoam strips painted to look like boards in front of the blower so they tip over when it's turned on. Yeah, I like that.
As usual, the sound is very critical to achieving this effect. First, because tornadoes make a lot of noise. And second, because you need to cover the noise of your fans. You can use a variety of sound effect tapes of storms currently on the market, or you can record your own big windstorm.
Or blowing into a microphone with a hair dryer or dragging it on carpet are 2 ways of getting wind sounds. But you also need the sound of breaking walls and flying debris, which can be done by dropping boards.
Oh, we're back. Okay, the best sound is this one right here. It's a stereo left to right panning sound, complete with all the sounds to create a fantastic effect. Let's talk about setting this all up. Everything else is in place. Speaker placement is very critical. Place good speakers behind the set and close to the fans or blowers. If possible, make the speakers far enough apart. Since it is a stereo tape, you'll get better 3-dimensional dynamics.
Now, timing is very important because you have at least 3 things to control: 2 fans and a stereo. Your tornado sound tape has to start at least a few seconds before the blowers kick in. Now, I suggest making a switched outlet box like this one here, with light switches hooked up to power outlets. Anyone who has done any home wiring can build one of these without plans, so I won't go into any details. If you don't know what you're doing, don't. And instead, simply use power strips with switches to turn the fans on and start the tape or CD as you normally would.
One other enhancement. A little later on, I'll be showing you how to do an earthquake. Of course, I've got a perfect audio for that too, called the Big Quake. This sound is composed of ultra-low frequency vibrations that'll shake a house to hell if you're using a good stereo and great speakers. If you use a second sound system and play this tape, you'll get even a better tornado, guaranteed.
You can further enhance the scene by placing a TV out the window and playing a video of a windstorm or the video of a tornado, of which there are many on the market.
One of the most sophisticated effects you can do is the earthquake. I'm going to show you how to make an earthquake that shakes the house and rocks the floors up and down. You'll make people believe the room's coming down on them. And here's how.
Sound and vibration are the two most important elements to a successful earthquake. Next is shaking rooms and falling debris. But without the proper sound and powerful low-frequency vibrations, you cannot make it a realistic experience.
Now I'm going to tell this to you straight. This tape has been designed custom-like to make the walls shake, the windows rattle, and otherwise fill your ears with terror. The best effect is achieved with a good stereo and big speakers. Or a big boombox and big speakers. The louder it is without speaker distortion, the more your room will rumble. My best recommendation, though, is a stereo and speakers that can perform at 100 watts per channel or more. Whew!
When you choose a room for the quake, the best results happen by hiding the speakers in another room or putting them upstairs, facing down from the floor above. Much of the sound on this tape is raw vibration, so you want to have the volume loud enough to cause the room to vibrate, but you don't want the speakers so close to the guests that it will ruin the surprise.
This room was specially built for a haunted house. Looks like hell, doesn't it? What's supposed to look like hell? Designed to look like hell. It's also designed to take a punishment and a beating. Be rocked and moved around, and especially works great with the earthquake and the tornadoes.
Well, it's made of old pallets, any odd wood and barnwood, 2x6s, an old window screen and curtains. And another pallet, barely resting on 2 nails designed to fall off behind the set. It's not really that hard to make. You lay some 2x4s on the floor, angle to each other, and nail 2x4s and 2x6s as uprights. Use any odd wood to make cross-support headers, then put up old boards like this barnwood. Got an old window? Just screw it right on. The top of the uprights are attached by a 2x4 header that sits on top of all the uprights. To make it shake, just pull on one side and the whole set shakes. Additional boards can be set up to tip over when the set is shaken to further enhance the illusion of disaster.
Because the shaken floor can also be used for making bugs move, I'll let the mystery adventurer take over for a few minutes.
The bug mover is a simple vibrating platform made from plywood which is sitting on large heavy springs. A vibrating motor is attached to a 2x4 extension shaft which extends 8 feet away from the platform. Toy bugs are placed on this platform and the vibration causes them to move. The vibrations are so strong that if you stand on the platform, you will shake up and down. This prop also works well for vibrating the floor in an earthquake scene. Here's a simple sketch that we used before we built our actual vibrating platform. The force that creates the illusion of the vibrating floor is actually an off-centered motor. To do that, you take the shaft and put on an arbor, which is used for holding grinding attachments to a bench workshop motor. You want to tighten these screws as tight as possible. If you don't, and this piece flies loose, it could go right through someone. Once you have the arbor in place, you put a hex nut onto the shaft and then a lock washer. Then you put on an eyelet, 6-inch eyelet, and this is what throws the shaft out of balance. We're sticking an old gear on here to act as a flywheel. That also is being put out of center. We put on a large flat washer, another lock washer, and then one more hex nut. And you want to make sure you use 2 wrenches to tighten this as tight as it possibly can go. Now you can see with a simple demonstration by spinning this by hand what happens when the motor is spun. It shakes up and down because it's off center. The motor is attached with a couple of large bolts. The final step is to attach a strap, a pipe strap, to hold the motor so that it doesn't fly off of the board. Just take a couple of screws, put that in place. The main support frame for the earthquake floor is either a 4x4 post or 2 2x4s attached together. And they're attached to a piece of plywood which acts as the very bottom of this base. Just a couple of screws in a couple places will hold this together. And then that's placed in front of our set area. In this case, our set wall, which is made out of some pallets. And to this we attach a piano hinge. And that forms the main pivot point for the earthquake floor so that it can shake up and down. Lay your floor platform down and screw it to the hinge. Take a large fender washer, stick it inside of the spring near the end. Then we're going to take a small wood screw with a smaller washer, get through that hole. Use a wood screw to attach it to your earthquake shake table. Then do the same thing with the other 2 springs so that you've got a total of 3, or enough to support the weight of a couple of people. Take your 8-foot 2x4 and lay it across the bottom side of your floor. You can set the apparatus down on the floor. If your springs aren't long enough, you're going to want to add a 2x4 on the floor. Just want to make sure that this platform is perfectly level.
All right, I'm back. Now, to use the vibrating platform, you need to raise the entire floor in the room up about 2 inches. This can be done in a number of ways, but here's an easy one.
Lay down 2x4s and 2x6s flat alongside the vibrating platform. Then lay boards, such as old barnwood, over these to make a scary old floor. The motor arm of the vibrating floor will extend behind the set walls. When you turn on the motor, the floor vibrates like this. Wait until your guests have come into the room. Then start the tape playing. As soon as the rumble gets going, start shaking the wall. Next, tip a few boards over on the set, and maybe tip a table of lumber over off stage. Finally, turn on the earthquake floor and just listen to these people scream.
Making use of TV VCR effects is an easy way to make fallen debris inside the walls for a scene like this. You simply hide the TV behind the pallet and play a video of continuously dropping dust and debris. Okay, here's another simple but unexpected stunt with an actor and a dummy with the same costume. The actor says he can fly, or is going to commit suicide by jumping out a window. He backs up, gets a running start, then throws out the dummy dressed like him, freaking out all the crowd. Woo! Yeah! You can put some plastic blood in there. You can put some guts and stuff and spread it around. I like this one.
Get out of here! Get out of the way! I'm gonna commit suicide! I'm gonna jump! Look out! Here I come! Ah!
Unexpected stunt with an actor and a dummy with the same costume. The actor says he can fly, or is going to commit suicide by jumping out a window.
Get out of here! Get out of the way! I'm gonna commit suicide! I'm gonna jump! Look out!
He backs up, he gets a running start, then throws out the dummy dressed like him, freaking out all the crowd.
Here I come! Ah!
We make a head frame by taking a plastic bag, stuffing it full of other bags, so we've got this squishy, soft head frame, and we literally stick the bags inside the neck of an inner shirt, and then we tape it around the collar. So we button the outer shirt over the inner shirt. Then we start stuffing the shirt with an old blanket. Then bring the pants in. Do the same thing. Continue stuffing. And then put a belt around here so the thing will not fall apart. But if you want to be certain that it won't, just use a bunch of duct tape. That works real well.
Okay now, a lot of old movies have a possessed car in it. Now you can too have one at your haunted house. The scene takes place outside, where it's cold and dark and damp. This one's simple but effective. However, if you don't know anything about home electricity, don't build this one. Get someone to help you who knows what they're doing.
The parts are 2 outside spotlights, some AC wires and a plug, screws and wire nuts, and a 2x2 board for a handle. Take both lights and remove the adjustable pivot piece by removing the screw. You will use the hole to put a wood screw in to attach the lights to the 2x2 handle. Screw the headlights to the 2x2, both facing the same direction like car headlights. Next, we will wire up the lights. Start on one side and attach the hot wire from your power cord to the black lead of the light. Plus, attach another wire 4 feet long to go over to the black lead of the other light. Do the same with the neutral wire, a second 4-foot wire, attaching both to the white wire of the first light. Attach the corresponding wires to the other light, and be sure you always use wire nuts. To use the effect, simply record the sound of a car revving its engine and then accelerating rapidly. Play the tape and turn on the headlights. When you hear the sound of the car peeling out, run towards the guests with the headlights and just listen to them scream.
Again, I want to mention the danger of electricity. If you're not qualified to do this, and you can't find anyone who is, use 2 flashlights instead. And don't be ashamed.